Welcome to Spotlight, shining a light on the ideas, culture, and people of the Spartan community.
Welcome to Spotlight. My name is Aaron Jimenez, your host for this evening. I'm joined today by two student filmmakers who are in the midst of film production now. Cole Bennett is a current junior here at MSU studying digital storytelling with a concentration in filmmaking. He is the writer and director of the Hat Conference Film Project. Cole, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Aiden Meyerson, a current sophomore at Michigan State, also studying digital storytelling, but with concentrations in multi-cam production and audio storytelling, and a minor in fiction filmmaking. He is a producer for the Hat Conference Project. Aiden, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Let's get this started.
Now, can you both give us some quick overview on what your role involves for this film? Cole, let's start with you.
So I am the writer and director of the short film. So about a year ago, I started writing this idea that I had based loosely off of an experience I had at a party. And I started developing the script, and it got, it was supposed to be a comedy sketch, and then I kind of blew it up into a larger story. And so spent about a year writing that, and then this past weekend got on set to actually make it. And so at that point, I was guiding the actors in the direction that I wanted and helping organize crew and everything like that. Just getting the script off the page.
Aiden?
So a lot of my pre-production work tended to be a bit more of like figuring out logistics for a lot of this. I did a lot of location scouting, I did a lot of budget management, I did sort of everything that an executive producer would in that capacity. And then when we got on set, I've sort of been doing more producing itself, of like putting out fires, making sure nobody needs anything, everything like that, making sure that everybody is taken care of. And then during this post-production phase that we're about to enter, I'm going to be doing a lot of budget managing, making sure people stay on track with scheduling, and any other important sort of detail-oriented thing that we've got going on.
Can you both give us a quick summary about what this film is?
So it's about a guy named Casey who is a little bit shy, not super outgoing, not super, into the college party scene, but his buddy invites him out to a party, and he finds this hat, and when he puts it on, makes him very cool and very confident, and so he's able to, lose all of those insecurities and just go about the party as a cool guy, and he learns a little bit about himself along the way.
And then throughout all of that sort of happening, we meet a fun cast of characters that get to be shown throughout. Just some really unique characters that have been written into this. He continues to go out at this party, sort of get a little bit overly confident, start having some problems with everybody, start causing some fights, stuff like that, and just in the end learns how he should grow and sort of become better as a person.
Now, Cole, can you tell us where you got this idea for the story?
So, St. Patrick's Day 2023, I was invited out to this party, and it was the kind of vibe where I knew that this would be like funny. I wore just the campiest, most awful outfit I could. So it's this silver, like disco, awful reflective shirt, and then a ugly trilby hat. And so I wore this outfit out, and as I left the party, I was walking down Grand River looking ridiculous, and these people start stopping me. It was the strangest thing, because it was just complete strangers off the street. They're like, dude, I love your hat. Oh my God. And so some of the side characters are kind of based off of these people who's like, dude, you gotta hype me up. Like, I'm striking out with these girls, and you look like you know your stuff. I'm just sitting there. I am wearing this ridiculous outfit. I don't know why people are approaching me, but I jokingly attributed it to the hat. And so then my girlfriend was like, that would be a really funny comedy sketch. You should write that. And so I sat down and wrote it, and it turned into this.
Now, Aiden, this film is produced under your production company, correct? What made you want to start a production company?
So I saw what a lot of classmates were doing throughout their sort of class career, I guess, and all of their academics here. And I realized that there's absolutely nothing stopping me from just doing this on my own and getting a good group of talented crew and cast together and just making something like this. I've worked with a couple of other production companies outside of MSU. Most of them student run, and I asked a lot of them how they were able to do it, what sort of management goes into it, and stuff like that, and I decided that it's really an opportunity that I'd like to pursue, and it's something that I feel like I have a accomplishable goal with.
Were there any other challenges you faced while you were establishing your production company?
While establishing the company, not particularly. No, it's actually a rather straightforward process. Through pre-production and production on set, however, we ran into quite a few difficulties, from a lack of communication from people trying to get us our location, to a lot of miscommunications on cast, crew, stuff like that. Just a lot of different miscommunications that have happened throughout this production.
Now, for Cole, what made you want to write this short film?
So my girlfriend, I came home after this party that I was talking about, and I just tell my girlfriend all about it, and I just love telling stories, and I love kind of telling these long, winding joke stories, and she looks at me, she goes, "That's just a sketch. Like, you've just told me like a comedy sketch, you should write that." And I'm part of a sketch writing club called Sideshow, and so I was like, yeah, I should turn that into a story, right? So I wrote it out, but it was a little longer than a sketch, and so I just started kind of building on it, and it turned into the script we ended up filming.
We're going to come back in just a little bit after a quick word from our sponsors.
What makes a Spartan a Spartan? The relentless drive to turn question marks into exclamation points. Believing that we are strong as one, but extraordinary together. And it's our impact that matters most. What makes a Spartan is what's inside, the commitment to something bigger. Because the world never stops asking, who will? Spartans will.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Aaron Jimenez, and I'm joined here by Cole Bennett, director and writer of The Hat Confidence, and Aiden Meyerson, the producer of this project. Now, Cole, before we went to commercial, we talked about what made you write this film. Any other thoughts?
So yeah, I started sitting down to kind of try to turn it into a bit of a comedy sketch, and I realized it was more of a story than it was a joke when I started plugging like a little bit personal elements. When I started giving the character that I was writing a bit more character, I realized it was a bit more than just a simple comedy sketch. And so I took, the essence of what I had experienced, but I inserted these, fantastic elements of magic and, a different character. I wrote a little bit of myself into the main character, but it's we are independent of each other. He's a different guy. And so I had fun just creating these characters and cranking out, this script that was 20 pages or so. It was a length I hadn't really worked with before. I'm usually either writing, 3-page sketches or attempting to write 90-page features and stuff like that. And so to find this in-between length was interesting to me. And so I really wanted to approach it and achieve just this simple, short story. And it took me a few drafts to get it where I wanted, but eventually I finished the whole thing and we started casting and made the film.
Now for Aiden, what made you want to produce this film as your first?
So a lot of it came down to just sort of the timing of everything. I had just started the actual process of getting this production company started, ready to go. Cole and I were just sitting down one day and he was just talking about it, and I was like, I really like this story. I think it's something that we could manage and really do in the amount of time that we have. I think that it is a perfectly good story, and that it is a reasonable thing that we would be able to manage and sort of take hold of, and that's the main reason, as well as being able to utilize this sort of group of cast and crew that we're able to have. We have some of the most talented people that I've been able to work with, and I'm very excited they were able to join this production.
Now, preparing for a shoot like this is no easy task. What did the production process look like for the two of you?
For me, it all began right around the beginning of February when we officially started casting. That was, my focus was a lot on cast. Aiden focused a lot on crew. I wanted to make sure we had good cast of characters to play, a good cast of actors to play the characters that I had written. And so once we had those people on board, I knew it was real. I knew it was actually happening. And then the next step was helping out with a bunch of pre-production stuff that I think Aiden can probably talk better detail about.
So the pre-production phase for me sort of started, I want to say, late December, early January, when I began trying to find sort of location scouting. We began coming up with ideas for how to crowdfund, how to raise any sort of funding for this type of thing. We then went into casting. We would go through, by about casting, we were on around draft 4 of the script. Our final draft was draft 7, because we were able to take some of the input from the actors and utilize it in the actual writing of the script. A lot of it also came down to like figuring out ways to see if we can get any sponsors for this, trying to get catering done, trying to get all of these things that most productions will really have, because my goal was to make this as professional as it could possibly be. Yeah, the main thing we did was crowdfunding and making sure that we had a decent amount to go into festivals, which is what we're about to start doing as well.
Now, for Cole, this past weekend was obviously your first weekend of production. How did that go?
Surprisingly well. I don't want to say surprisingly, but it kind of came and went a lot quicker than I thought it would. You know, I went into it and I wanted to get things done, and we accomplished a lot. The crew was very happy and ready to go, ready to work. They were very skilled. Everything got done. I was a little worried that I was taking on too much with the amounts of time we had, but one of the best assistant director in the world, Jay Isanimi, helped me, and we moved things along, got everything done that we wanted to. We ran into the one complication we ran into was rain. We wanted to film an outdoor scene, and we got rained out. So that is what we are approaching this weekend.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick message. Now for Aiden, obviously production can be a stressful process. How do you think it went on set?
So production absolutely did happen. We were definitely like able to get through it. Everything went, and the actual production of it went well. We were very lucky to get access to these houses that we were able to film in. They are going to be new co-ops. We worked with the co-op association, and they let us take over these new houses just for this weekend and be able to film in them. Super grateful for that. Some of the lighting features, honestly, gave us a little bit of trouble. They were just very well decorated, but they were also very low hanging from the ceiling. So trying to maneuver around those was a big problem. A lot of the ceilings were a little bit low, and there were a couple of other rooms that we were just unable to use. So we were able to we had to sort of figure out what sort of production quality we wanted based off of what was available to us.
Now, for Cole, how does it feel to see your work come to life?
It's pretty wild, because this is my first kind of proper foray into directing. I've done a couple of comedy sketches here and there, but it hasn't gotten old yet, seeing something that I wrote on the page come to life before my eyes, having creative input and being able to just actually watch it come to life is incredible. It's something that I have wanted to do ever since I got into filmmaking, and it's something that I'm very happy with the result of. I cannot wait to see the final product once we get into editing and get something put together.
Now, for Aiden, how many people do you think you had helping you this weekend?
So we have 10 main cast that we have officially casted, ready to go. We have about total across both weekends, I would say around 20 to 22 different crew members. And then across both weekends as well, we had about 30 to 40 extras just throughout this entire project. We're very thankful to have some of the most talented people that I could find. They are incredible at what they do. most of them being current students or alumni, and all of them have been doing what they've been doing for a while, and it really shows in the work.
Are there any people you'd like to thank in particular?
I'll give another shout out to Jay and Rachel as well. They were my first and second IDs, helped move the crew along while I was maybe focused on getting a take. They were behind, they were off the set and just helping people work. And also the other producers that worked alongside Aiden, Kyan, and Mason helped us do a lot of great things.
Absolutely everybody that Cole just mentioned, and then there were some others that I'd like to add on. Everett Gechter and Aiden Tripp, both of our DPs on this project.
Absolutely.
Alex Gutowski, our AC. We have Catherine and Joanne, who are both our gaffers, who did a lot of work with very little equipment. They managed to get some great lighting throughout this. We have Trey and Laura, who are our audio team, and they did some fantastic work. And then just everybody else who was involved in this project. They really managed to make this whole thing sort of shine in the way that we didn't expect it to.
I also want to shout out my friend Esty, because I asked him to be an extra, and not only did he agree to be an extra, he then became something of a production assistant. He gave a lot of people rides, he ran some errands for us, he got us a lot of extras. That's funny to say. But he really helped us when we were in a bit of a jam trying to get background people to fill in our party space. So he really came through in a way we did not expect.
We'll be right back with more Spotlight after this short break.
When do we give up? When do we just close our eyes and say, that's it? This water's too polluted. This disease too far along. To a Spartan, the answer is simple. Never. Because Michigan State was founded on the belief that our purpose is to make the world a better place. And when you're open to unconventional thinking, you value people's differences and are willing to work harder, push farther, and forge true partnerships. Then and only then can you solve the world's toughest problems. Better, faster. Like renewable energy, clean water, Parkinson's disease, and fighting malaria. Things Spartans work on every single day, all without fanfare. Because we know our true triumph lies in the impact we make on the world around us. And after all, if we don't do it, who will? Spartans will.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm Aaron Jimenez, and I'm excited to continue our conversation with Cole Bennett, the director and writer of Have Confidence, and Ian Meyerson, the producer of this incredible project. Now, before we get back to the questions, I wanted to take a quick look at some behind-the-scenes content from your shoots last weekend. Please enjoy.
Jimmy! Yes? How you feel about lines in this scene?
I know all of the lines in this scene.
You did not sound confident when you told me that just now.
What's in there?
Secrets untold.
Oh my god!
So this is the basement. What the hell's down here? What the
Makes sense.
You know what I'm curious about? Why the there's a rocking chair there?
Someone during this filming, I wrote this high and then you can sit and out of the closet.
I can't see.
Hello, friends. Shut up.
It's so
so disgusting.
There's a spider this big of it.
Don't. You see the leaky butt? There's a leaky butt down there.
Because it's like nice fun party light. You get that magenta, you get that blue, you get the purple. It gives it a little nice fun future party. I don't know. It's a good color scheme. The bisexuals nailed it. I know because I'm one of them.
You want to kiss me. You want to kiss me so bad right now.
You ain't this frosting. You're not gonna record me doing it. Hi, Benner.
Hello.
You know how like when you used to pop out of things, like the 50s?
No. Yes, you do.
No one does that anymore.
Yes, I was gonna bring it back.
Why would I know that? Oh, because I'm old?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Just say your ages. Just say it. That's right. Just say it. No. Just say it. Sorry, this is space. Just say it. Just say that you've
I think that you're the oldest one.
Be that as it may.
Yeah.
I want to thank Benny Wren for providing a lot of this content, as the director of this program was involved on set, and now, how does it feel to view the set from a different set of eyes? Aiden, you go first.
I mean, I really appreciated how much fun everybody was having. Cole and I were significantly more stressed during production. We were not having as much fun as everybody else was, but I'm really glad to see that everybody else was having a good time. That is the goal. We were significantly more focused on trying to get everything done in a very short amount of time, but seeing all this footage makes me glad that we had such a good casting crew on set and around.
And Cole?
Yeah, I had a serious case of tunnel vision when it came to directing, and the second I got out of my car, it was go, 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 and so I kind of like, in a way, like I blacked out a little bit and just went into director mode, and then the night ended and I was back in my car again. I am happy to see the casting crew were all enjoying themselves very much. I was also enjoying myself. I don't want to seem like I was miserable. No, I was having a great time. I was just committed to the job that I had to do, and so I didn't have a whole lot of time to sit down and smell the roses, I suppose.
Now, how are the two of you feeling as you're moving into your second weekend of production?
I'll say a lot more relaxed. Not relaxed as in, I mean, we have a job to do still and we're going to get it done, but we know what we have to accomplish. We're shooting tomorrow, and we have more time and less to film. So, you know, we got what we needed last weekend, and I personally feel a lot more comfortable as a director, having 3 days of that behind me, one more day left. I'm feeling pretty good.
Working with a director like Cole really taught me a lot of different experiences about scheduling and things like that, and about how it really does, like, having more time to utilize to your advantage really can add to a production. Being able to sort of have fun a little bit more on set while at the same time making sure your production is getting done is very important, and having this allotted time, like Cole said, is really beneficial to all of us involved.
What Aiden's trying to say is he doesn't like it when I run behind schedule, and I always run behind schedule.
That is correct.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight. Aiden, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
And thank you, Cole, for being here as well.
Thank you so much.
My name is Aaron Jimenez, and this has been Spotlight. Have a great night.
Thanks for watching. Spotlight is a production of MSU Digital Storytelling and was produced and directed entirely by Michigan State University students. Join us next time for more Spotlight.